Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 3. We are The Outsiders. I am Dax.
And I am Johnny Randang.
Okay, so tonight we have a lot of hot topics tonight. First off, we are gonna discuss the upcoming NBA playoffs, awards predictions. So we will all be discussing that. And Johnny, on your side, what are you gonna run down tonight?
And on my side, I will run down the results of the UEFA Champions League last week. We had four matches last. I will give you the results, a rundown of results,
Okay.
as well as the predictions for the matches this week, so that we would find out who will be at the top 8 of the UEFA Champions League.
Okay, so before we get started on that, so let us this last week's so we last recorded on March 3, right? So today is
Yes.
we're recording right now March 17. So we will be briefly we are gonna talk about the past days notable games. So so the
A lot of big games.
first game of note that I took notice of is the game of Philadelphia versus Oklahoma City Thunder. So the final score was 118-123. But the reason why I took note of this game is Russell Westbrook's stat line. So
I think triple double.
yes, he got
Yeah, triple double.
49 points, 15 rebounds, 10 assists. So yeah, another monster game for
Yeah, another monster game for Russell Westbrook because he's a monster. Yeah.
yeah, and the funny thing about this game is actually the bench, their bench, Oklahoma City Thunder's bench, stepped up in this game, and they outscored the starters. Ibaka only contributed 2 points. Robertson contributed a big fat egg, and Cantor only
Big
scored
fat
8 points. So on the bench side, Dion Waiters 20 points, DJ Augustine 17 points, Morrow adding 11. So they're trying to
Shot
utilize their depth, I think.
Yes, especially without Kevin Durant. I think Kevin Durant is about a week or two away from returning, so I think their trade is paying dividends.
Okay, so the next game that I took note is the game the day after that. So the Thunder again, but this time
Thunder again.
they were defeated by the Bulls. This is also
Oh,
the end of the triple double streak for Russell
actually,
Westbrook.
I think I've watched that live
Yeah, Mirotic came up big in the clutch, and
on television.
off the bench, 26 points for Mirotic, 14 out of 16 on the free throw line. So he played a good game. He played a
I
crucial.
think I think Eto'o Moore was the player of the game.
That was the game-winning three.
It was a
Game-winning three.
game-winning three.
Yeah, okay.
I think he had 19 points in that game and the game-winning three. And I specifically remember because I think Craig Sager came back that night
Oh yeah. So
after like an 10 month with cancer. So we welcome back Craig Sager
welcome back.
in his fancy suits. Yeah.
Flashy suits that Kevin Garnett said
Yes.
you should burn them. Okay.
Yes.
So
He should.
we
He
will
should.
be
He should really
posting
find
we will be posting a link of that game winner by Eat One More on so you just click on the hyperlink below. We will be posting it, so you'll be able to relive the what we were talking about. Okay, so
I think he shot the shot by Eto'o Moore was over Westbrook.
oh yeah, I think so too. Okay, so
I think it was okay. So
the next game
next game.
I took notice of is the Pelicans against the Bucks 114-103. So
The battle of the
battle of
lengthy arm guys.
yeah, the battle of the long arms of the law here. So
Yes.
Anthony Davis winning this round, 43 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists. So
with
is this his first game returning?
I think it's his first game back because
Yeah.
I specifically remember because he was part of my fantasy team, and I didn't even use him that
You
week,
forgot
so
to
it
you
sucked.
forgot to yeah.
Just because I don't know when he's coming back,
Oh wait,
and that
did we record on March 3? I think he came back already. If I'm not
no, I think not. I don't remember, but I think he was still out with a shoulder injury, I think.
okay. Okay, so
And
okay.
I think Giannis also had a big game that
Yeah,
night.
29 points for Giannis.
It's his career high. So the Bucks are really built their future with Carter Williams, Giannis, and Jabari Parker when he returns.
Okay, so the next game I'm gonna discuss is the Cleveland San Antonio game. So
Ooh, Kyrie,
your thoughts first on that game.
uh, Kyrie Irving. That's just the only thought I'm thinking right now. Kyrie Irving exploded with 57 points.
Uh,
I think he was perfect from the 3-point area, which is
7 out of 7.
absurd.
7 out of 7 from that
He,
for the game.
he even the game winner was a difficult shot, and he made it. And I think he's still gonna improve, and I think the Cavaliers are gonna have a championship contender for the next few years in LeBron's prime. That's what I think.
Okay. So in reference to Anthony Davis, he returned March 4.
Ah, okay, sorry,
Yeah, he
sorry
returns
about that.
Detroit. I remember that because when we were recording, you regretted not putting him in your lineup.
Oh,
So
okay, okay.
for the information of our listeners, he returned on March 4. So he returned against Detroit and they won that game.
Sorry about that. I was already out of the playoffs, so I really don't care about the fantasy team.
Whoa,
My fantasy
come
team.
on. Okay, so
Yeah.
another so we're just we're running these down quickly. So
Actu- can I say something
okay, go.
about the game? I think Kawhi Leonard missed two crucial free throws at the end,
Oh, okay. I was not able
and
to watch that game live.
he missed two free throws to ice the game, and it reminds me of the game 6 of
Oh, against
the
Miami.
2013 NBA Finals against Miami, wherein
Yeah.
he also missed two free throws. Then Ray Allen hit the game tying shot to send the game to overtime,
Yeah.
and the rest is history.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
Miami Heat won the championship in Game 7. So there's that. I just remembered Kawhi Leonard's two missed free throws. He needs to work on his free throws.
Yeah, but I think he's still getting his bearings back after I think he was sidelined for a significant amount of time.
Yeah, I think with an eye injury. I don't remember. And I think eye injury and something about his thigh muscle. I don't remember, but yeah, he was out.
Okay, so
But he's playing now.
another notable game that I saw, Clippers defeating the Thunder. So if you're noticing a pattern here, it's almost
It
I'm
was
almost taking note of all the Thunder games just because of Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook. Yeah.
So
He's
another near triple double here, glaring the stat here, 10 turnovers for Russell. So
he almost had the quadruple double if you include the turnovers, right?
yeah, as compared to his counterpart on the other team, Chris Paul, playing very steadily, only 5 turnovers, but he had 9 assists.
Oh, but that was high. It's still high. That 5 turnovers. But
DeAndre Jordan again, monster game, 18 and 17. So
oof,
a candidate
dang.
for defensive player of the year, but we'll talk
Defensive
about that
player of the
later.
year.
Okay, so next game.
The Clippers are still with Griffin, right? At that game.
Yeah, that game. He hasn't returned
Yeah.
yet. I think he returned. I will discuss it against
This
Houston.
week. Okay.
He
Okay.
returned
Okay.
against Houston.
Okay.
So we have here the game. Chicago Bulls versus Oklahoma City Thunder. I think this was just yesterday.
It was in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
the Thunder won 100 to 109. Um, got some sort of revenge for their loss.
Revenge. Yes.
So the season series is tied 1 to 1.
And
Mirotic,
I
another
don't
nice game
know.
for Mirotic, 27 points. Westbrook again, pedestrian numbers, 36 points, 11
Pedestrian
rebounds,
numbers. Eh?
assists, typical Russell Westbrook without KD. So and
I
then
think they don't miss Kate.
okay,
They don't miss Kate.
so the I'm excited to see Russell Westbrook on the Lakers.
Okay, that's not gonna happen.
Well,
That's not gonna
it's a
happen.
pipe dream. It's a pipe.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Uh, but I think maybe some press. I just heard the rumor about I read, I didn't heard. I read an article online about uh, the thought of the Oklahoma City Thunder trading Kevin Durant next year.
Yeah,
I just
because
read that,
he's an expiring contract.
and you know, the 26 free agency is being talked about a year before it, so it's a big deal. We know that Sam Presti traded Harden a few years back for some picks and role players. So there, just my thought. There would be no player that you would trade for Kevin Durant except for LeBron James, just like in fantasy, or Anthony
Well,
Davis. So I think
with a player like Kevin Durant, you can never
yeah,
get fair value for that because Kevin Durant
yes,
is Kevin Durant. But
yeah,
if you're ever gonna trade a superstar like that, we should learn from. I think the best model franchise for handling that situation is I think the Magic handled it well when they traded Dwight Howard a few years ago. They got picks.
Nikola
They got
Vucevic.
Vucevic, a
I think they
solid
got Nikola
prospect.
Vucevic.
So
Then they
they got also a Flalo, I think, on that deal. I think somehow they got a Flalo because of that deal. So all in all, it was a good trade for the Magic.
it was a good trade. It was a good trade because you know Andrew Bynum,
Did not
Andrew
play at
Bynum's
all
knees did
for
not hold up for the
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia 76ers, so they avoided Andrew Bynum. So it was a win for
Yeah, so
them.
that's speaking of Andrew Bynum, that's a big what if, ano? If Andrew
If
Bynum
Andrew
played well for
Bynum,
Philadelphia, I don't think they would be picking Nerlens Noel
and
or
Noel
Joel Embiid
or Embiid,
in the
right? Yeah.
draft. So you never know with the NBA. So if a model franchise for handling that, I think they should if ever they need to trade Kevin
Kevin
Durant,
Durant.
they should try to go the Magic's route. So
They need to have like three first round picks,
they just have to
an all star, right?
they just
So,
have to have flexibility and someone to build on, someone with potential.
but I think they can build around Russell Westbrook. He's not going to LA.
We'll see about that. Okay, so the last game that I
Okay,
will
the last game.
discuss is the Rockets versus the Clippers, 100 to 98. This was played at Staples Center. So this is a big matchup because these are among the top teams in the West. And this is
They're very crowded.
Blake Griffin's first game back from a staph infection. So he almost had the triple double, 11 points, 11 rebounds, 8 assists. But yeah, I think
They lost.
if I'm not mistaken, James Harden won this game.
Monster game.
Won this game for the
Houston
for Houston.
with the Rockets.
Okay, so all of the games that I discussed, we will be posting links for each and every game, so you can watch the highlights. So we will just be posting the links below. You can click on that for each game that I mentioned, so that we are all up to speed. So now, playoff predictions. So do you still remember when you made your playoff predictions?
I remember the San Antonio Spurs as my eighth seed in the West. That's what I remembered most.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking twice now because I think they have won like seven straight before losing to to Cleveland,
Okay.
and I think the Mavs are falling apart after they got blown out by the Cavs with Amaris Stoudemire calling his teammates that he came to Dallas to win and they got blown out. So I think I'm thinking twice about having the Spurs at the eighth seed, and I think I'm just gonna change that to the Dallas Mavericks. No. I think with the Oklahoma City Thunder
Hmm.
at eight. I
Okay.
think they're gonna make the playoffs. So I'm still think that they're gonna make the playoffs, but they won't get higher than eight. That's what I think. So I'm just gonna interchange. I think I had um uh what I call Golden State,
Golden State.
then Memphis,
Yeah.
then Portland.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go with Houston at number four,
Okay.
Clippers at number five.
Okay.
At number six, I'm gonna give it to the Spurs.
Then seven.
The seventh, the Dallas Mavericks, and the eighth for the Oklahoma City
Okay.
Thunder.
So, excuse me. As the Western Conference currently sits, there's only one game separating the Oklahoma City Thunder and the New Orleans Hornets. Sorry, New
Okay.
Orleans Pelicans. So it's pretty tight, the race down there in the West. Pelicans playing well. They have won 7 of their last 10 games. Oklahoma
Ooh.
playing so-so. Five losses and 5 wins in their last 10 games. So in the East, let's look at the East. Boston has won 5 straight. So they are
I think they're in the race.
they are in a
I think the Boston
three-way.
Celtics are in the
They're in a
race.
three-way tie right now, with Indiana and Miami for the
Miami,
last spot. So
last
I
spot.
think they can.
Who's the seventh? Who's the seventh? Seventh seed.
Seventh seed currently is Indiana and then Miami. So Boston, Charlotte fell out.
Oh, okay.
Charlotte
Okay.
fell out of the race, and oh man, Detroit suddenly fell out, and they are now in the midst of a 10 game losing streak. So your prediction.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So
I didn't know
your
that.
prediction on
I
that
think I
one.
predicted the Detroit Pistons at number eight. I
Yeah,
think.
it kind of went south on that. I think
Yeah, yeah.
I think I was wrong also on Reggie Jackson making a positive impact on
Yes.
Detroit. So
He's not making positive
it's,
impact.
well, they lost 10 straight. So they're almost they're only 3 games
Three games.
above Orlando. So how how quickly they have fallen. So the race is tight in the East. Indiana, Miami, and as I said, Boston. With who Bill Simmons.
The final two spots, right?
Final 2 spots. It's being
Okay.
battled by 3 teams. So I think Boston, because they have a superior coach in Brad Stevens, future,
Brad Stevens.
who are some people calling future U.S. President Brad Stevens, because
He's got the
he gets the most out of what he has. So they won 5 straight. They've been playing well.
I think they have a lot of draft picks for next year, so I don't know if they're gonna try to purposely lose the last few games. I don't know because if they make the playoffs, they won't be at the lottery. They won't be in the lottery. So I don't know if what's
I don't.
the Boston Celtics plans.
If I were the Boston Celtics, I would go for it. I mean,
They're gonna win against the Hawks.
they're already. Yeah, I know they're not gonna win, but they're already in the thick of it. It's
Yeah.
they only have 36 losses, and with only 16 games to go in the season. The worst record they can get is 30-52, but I don't think that 30-52 will net them a high pick either way. So
Okay.
the best
Okay, you got a point.
the
Yeah,
best route
yeah.
to go is to go for the
Go
playoff
for the
spot.
players
Maybe
or to
put
build some experience.
yeah, experience for the rookies and for the young ones there, and then put some scare into people because it's Brad Stevens. I think it's his coming out party if he ever gets to the playoffs. And people see he's a good coach. I think
He's a good coach. He's a
people
good
will
coach.
want to play for the Boston Celtics again. What do you think about that? Do you think
I think
it's a big do you think it's a big factor, the coach, into a
yeah,
player's
I
decision?
think the coach is a big factor in players choosing a destination. And Boston is a big sports city, from baseball to American
Yeah, but it's
football
cool.
to basketball. Well, I think Brad Stevens is a good coach, and I actually think that they're not gonna attract a lot of major names. I think they're gonna build from the draft and with their players like Marcus Smart, Kelly Olynyk. Who else? They also have Tyler Zeller playing well. They have Jared Salinger, a solid for the number four. So I think they're just gonna build through the draft, and I think they're gonna. I don't know if they will surround. They will make Marcus Smart their franchise point guard. So
Yeah,
I think Brad Stevens will is a good coach, but I think the factor that makes the Boston Celtics possible a possible number eight, because they're there in the East, and the competition in the East is,
not so
a
good.
so-so
Not so good.
not so good competition, unlike in the West. So I think there's a factor that they will play. I think they will play more games against Eastern Conference
Oh
teams,
yes, definitely.
comparing to the West teams, which are stronger. So I think there's a factor of who will be their next opponents. So
Okay, so yeah.
if I were Boston, I would, just I think they're just letting Brad Stevens do what he can, and
Yeah, he's too good. He's too good to tank.
they're
He's
winning,
too good
and
to
they're
tank.
winning.
I think
So
they made if
I just don't
yeah. Okay, go ahead.
okay.
Go
I
ahead.
just think that I just think that they should, wait for next season. But it's a great way to build their experience. I think they're purposely trying to be the out of the playoffs, but you know, as I said, the East is so weak.
And Brad Stevens is
Uh,
too good.
is still good. He's making his players work together, play together, and they are winning.
They
So
are
you can
overachieving.
just say purposely lose this. Yeah, they're overachieving. So I think they're not supposed to make it to the playoffs, but they're making it because the East.
Yes,
Just say the East.
and if the Boston Celtics plan was to tank, I think they're failing right now because Brad
Yes.
Stevens is too damn good. Okay, so
Yes.
that's it for the playoff race
Oh,
update. Okay, okay.
can I say something about the playoff race in the West in the eighth spot? I forgot to mention that we forgot to mention that Serge Ibaka is injured.
Oh yeah, we will discuss that later. We will
Okay, okay.
discuss that later
So
because
I
okay.
think it's gonna affect the playoff race. Okay, we'll discuss it
Okay,
later. Okay.
so we will now be running down to borrow your you borrow your trademark.
Okay, it's fine.
We will be running
It's not yet
down
right.
the candidates for player awards and coaching awards
Okay.
for this year. So MVP, I will just be giving um three names, and then
Okay.
let's just discuss it. Okay.
Okay.
No
Okay.
ranking yet, but we'll just I'll for me these are the
Okay.
top
Okay.
three.
You give your rankings. I give my rankings.
Okay. Okay,
How about
okay.
that?
So
Okay. Okay.
let's discuss number one in some people's ballots already, Steph Curry.
Okay.
So he's been carrying the no, not actually carrying because it's actually a team effort over there in the
It's just the
Bay
leading.
Area, but he's the best player on the best team in the NBA right now. They've been playing very well. Why do you think he deserves the MVP award?
Well, I think he deserves the MVP because he's the best player in the best team in the NBA, and that's enough. I think to win the award.
Okay,
But he's not the best player in the
NBA.
in the NBA right
Okay,
now. So I think James Harden is much more deserving because of what he has done
For Houston.
this season for the Rockets without Dwight Howard.
Yes.
So I think that's gonna factor in for the voters. So I have, if I'm gonna vote, I'm gonna vote for James Harden. But uh, if if I'm gonna choose who I want to win, I want Stephen Kerr to win. But if I'm gonna give my vote, I'm gonna give my vote to James Harden.
That's kind of confusing, man. You
Yeah,
want
no.
Steph Curry to win, but you're gonna give your vote to James Harden. Is that am I
Yes.
getting it
Yeah,
correct?
I don't want to be biased. I don't want to vote for Stephen because I like him. I'm a big Golden State Warriors fan. I'm gonna vote for
Yeah,
him.
okay, I
I'm
got
just
it.
gonna give it to James Harden because I think he deserves it more. By the way, with the way he's playing and the way he's carrying Houston without Dwight Howard, so that's just giving props to the beard, to the
Okay,
bearded
so
one.
number three slot, because for me, the MVP is always a guy that is irreplaceable in a team. So, for
Okay.
example, you take out a certain guy from a certain team, how much his absence affects the overall standing of the team, how much it affects the dynamics of the team, and that's why for my number three, last but not the least, the king, LeBron James.
Yes, LeBron
You
James.
know how Cleveland sucked last year, right? You saw
Yeah, they suck.
they
They
sucked
suck.
bad. And now that he's back in Cleveland, and look where they are now. So I think
They're in
that's
the
why
number two.
that's why
Number two.
I am that's
We're gonna give
my number three
uh,
spot is for LeBron
for
James.
LeBron James.
But I just don't agree that he took a 2 week vacation in the middle of a season. He took a 2 week refreshment in
And I think they suck
Miami.
that they sucked during that span. I think they were 1-9 in that span when LeBron was out. I don't remember, but I think they had a very losing record when
Yeah,
LeBron was out.
they were 19-20 before he returned, and now they're at 43-26. So after LeBron's return, they are 24-6. So
Woo.
I posted on Twitter, on my Twitter account, that if they had played this way all season, I'm
They're
just
gonna be the
crunching
number.
the numbers, the percentages, they could have ended up 67-15 or 66-16 just of the record after LeBron returned. So, their potential was that big, but they did not fully realize it this season.
Because they're a new team. They have a new coach. Play every new players right from.
Mhm.
I think the original Cavalier in there is Anderson Varejao,
Kyrie Irving.
Tristan Thompson, Kyrie Irving, and those guys were the original
Yeah,
Cavaliers. And you got new players, right?
and
So I think
the Shumpert and J.R. Smith
Shumpert and J.R. Smith,
played a big
yeah,
factor also in their resurgence.
J.R. Smith is playing very well.
Yeah, I think J.R. Smith plays well when he has a player better than him.
He just needs motivation.
Better than
He
him.
just needs motivation.
I mean, way better. I'm not somebody who he thinks he can beat. But because maybe because there are certain type of guys who play like that. They play very well. They know their role when there's a dominant alpha male on the team. But when he was in New York and Melo was injured, he was free to do whatever he wanted to do. He wanted to
Yeah.
untie shoelaces. He did that when he, those
Yeah.
kind of shenanigans he
Think got
did.
fined. Think got fined by the
Uh,
league, but I think 30,000. I don't remember, but I think got fined for doing that. That's childish.
Yeah. Okay. So one person who's still not feeling the love from Cleveland fans is
He's given.
Kevin Love. So
Yeah.
yeah,
He's st-
you cut into my segue, man.
yeah. Sorry.
Okay. So
Sorry about that.
why do you think he doesn't fit there?
Actually, he can fit there, but I think David Blood is not using him well enough.
So it's the coach's fault.
Yeah, and the players' fault. I think they both, and they're using they're using Kevin Love as a stretcher, which he is, but
Mm-hmm.
he would have helped more if he's on the post, posting up, taking fadeaway jump shots. He's gonna, if he's scoring like 15 or about 20 a game, he can draw defenses. So
It's good.
I think the
Ah,
it's really it's really difficult to say what's Kevin Love's problem right now, because he's the only one not clicking.
yeah.
I think he was held out of the game against the San Antonio Spurs. He was on the bench, I think, in the fourth quarter and overtime. So I think he hasn't adjusted well, and I just I just hope that he can gather his thoughts, his confidence. I think he needs to get his confidence back in order for him to to go
Play well. Play
to
better.
play well, like his All-Star form last year, or near that All-Star
I
form.
think he's really a bad fit for the Cavaliers, especially given that they have two slashers in the team, LeBron and Kyrie. Because back when he was with the Wolves, he was the main post threat, so he can
Yes.
park down there, do his thing, because they had no threat coming from the wings. But now, he can't position himself down low. He can establish himself. He can't get into a rhythm because there are two players better than him, and they are of course they will be well suited to use those two players more than Kevin Love. And then Kevin Love, he's turning into a stretch four. It takes away his greatest talent, which is rebounding.
Rebound.
So when he's at the three, that significantly decreases his chances of getting an offensive rebound and a putback. Kevin Love, I think, is a classic good stats on a bad team.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of Sharif Abdur Rahim back in the day. Sharif Abdur
And
Rahim,
Mitch Richmond.
yeah, he was Sharif Abdur Rahim, also a power forward. He played for the Grizzlies and then the Hawks. He had good stats, but because his team sucked. He was the only guy that they could go to, and that's why he produced such numbers. And he was a borderline. I think he was an all star,
Also,
or Abdul Rahim was an all
yes.
star. So
I think he was an all-star for the Grizzlies. I think
yeah,
twice.
okay, so yeah, I hope, but of course, I hope that Kevin Love finds his groove. I hope that
He's going to the Lakers.
uh I said it already. I don't like
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like him
I
going
don't
to the
like it.
Lakers.
I think. I think.
Okay, okay.
Okay. I think if Kevin Love has defense, or if he can play some defense, he would have been inserted at the five. So with LeBron going down to the fourth spot, but he's not playing defense. I don't
No,
know. There
actually,
are players
okay.
just I don't know why they're NBA players. It's their job. They need to work on their defense, and they're not working on their defense. I mean, they're getting paid like millions of dollars, and
Mhm.
they're not honing their craft more. So
What
it's frustrating.
what team he would have fit in if he gone there? I think he would have fit in nicely with the Bulls. If he had gone there before Pau Gasol, he
Oh
I think he would have
yeah,
taken the spot of Gasol. What Gasol is doing right
yes.
now, and by now he will be the main man because Derrick Rose is gone.
He's out. Jimmy Butler is out.
Jimmy Butler is out also. I think if he were on the Bulls right now, if he and Gasol were flipped, I think the Bulls would be in a better position, and I think the Cavaliers would be in a better position too if they had Pau Gasol,
With,
because Pau Gasol is a good
okay.
he's a good passer. He's a great passing big man,
Yes.
and
Actually, Kevin. Actually, Kevin Love is also a good passer, but
really is he?
yeah, I think he averaged like 3 assists before in his last season in Minnesota.
Oh,
I
okay.
think he had like 3 assists or 4 assists
You
per
know,
game. Uh,
any stats
I think
he produced from Minnesota, I take it with a big sack of
yeah,
salt because Maybe those three assists,
you're,
shot clock
you're,
running
you're,
down.
you're just like
They just
Kevin
had
Love
to
hater.
throw it up. Maybe luckily it went in.
You're Kevin Love hater.
No, I don't hate Kevin Love, but I don't love
Just
him.
don't like him. You
Yes.
just don't like him. Okay.
Okay, so let's go to the next the next award, which is the Rookie of the Year. So
Okay. It's a
at
runaway.
first, it was we thought everybody thought it
It's a
was a
point for
runaway award for Andrew Wiggins. It was his award to lose, but then
I
somebody
said Jabari Park, I'm sorry.
somebody
Sorry
emerges
about that.
from the East,
Uh,
a rookie. Not well, he was drafted the year before, but he's a rookie because he didn't
Netherlands.
play. Nerlens Noel.
Yes.
So Nerlens
It's
Noel,
like
he had
he's,
okay, okay.
he's playing like he's playing like a poor man's Anthony Davis in a good way.
Yeah,
He's
imagine if they were teamed together, no? That would
yes.
be
It's freakish.
yeah, okay.
It's very long, and they have they have Michael Carter Williams at point guard, Giannis Antetokounmpo in the shooting guard, and they will they're the longest team in history, and Kevin Durant at the small forward, right? So
Okay.
that's the longest wingspan in history.
Okay, Jay Bilas would be freaking out right now because of all the wingspan right there. Okay, so let me read this from NBA.com.
Can I mention
Okay.
Nikola Mirotic? I think he's playing well enough to garner some votes as the rookie of the year.
Yeah, but I think it's a little bit
It's gonna be
too
Wiggins.
late.
Yes.
And he hasn't done it consistently. So
Yeah.
let me just read this from an NBA.com.
Okay.
A nice run of 3 games in 4 nights. 8 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks against Oklahoma. 10
Ooh.
points, 11 rebounds, 6 steals against the Jazz. 11 points,
Those
17 rebounds, 5 steals against the Hawks. So no rookie
those
has hit these numbers he had in the
ever
Atlanta game since a center
since
12 years 12 years from that week. Can you take a guess
12 years,
which
about 2000
which center
rookie or center.
which center did
2000
that?
I think about 2003
Yeah,
center. Who's the best center that time? It's not Shaq. Well, it's not Shaq, right?
it's Shaq.
It's Shaq.
Yeah,
Wow.
so no rookie had hit the
Okay.
numbers he hit since Shaquille O'Neal nearly 12
Wow.
years earlier to that week. So and
Impressive.
Noel's 11 double doubles is the top amongst the first year players. So he's giving Andrew Wiggins a run for his money. He's catching up. Catching up.
Catching up, yeah.
I think the last month or the last 3 weeks of the season will
Crucial.
can
Could be crucial.
swing the vote if he puts up Anthony Davis like numbers. It's not
In
impossible.
terms
It's
of,
not impossible.
I think even though he doesn't score that much points, I mean those steals and blocks are a difference maker. So I think some
Yes.
voters will give it to him.
Of course, of course. Okay, and the third one is Alfred Payton. So
Okay.
nothing much to mention on Alfred Payton, but he's been a steady point guard, although he's been coughing up the ball a lot. But it's
He's a
expected
rookie.
for a rookie and a point guard also.
He's a rookie.
Also the Magic has no alternatives at point guard because they're playing Oladipo at the two.
Yes.
So, but I think
Yeah, but
that backcourt
they have,
is scary.
okay. Yes, they especially in the East, right?
Yes, I think they will be. I think maybe if next year they get some wins, they get close enough to the playoffs, and then the next year after that, you know, Peyton and Oladipo is not a backcourt. Any guard would be, excited to face. I think they would be
They-
they would be scared
they-
because these two are
those
hounds on
two
the
are
defensive end.
yes, they are two defensive guards, and I think they're both 6'4", I think
Yeah.
Peyton is a 6'4" guard, and Oladipo is like he's built in like a Dwayne Wade style.
You know,
So I think
imagine you're a point guard, you're playing your second game in 3 nights, and then you run into the Orlando Magic backcourt. You're
so.
gonna have at
I
least
think
15 turnovers on that game. You're so tired, and then they're just jumping on you. But
the Orlando Magic have a good future.
yeah,
They will have a high pick.
they,
A high
they will
pick
get
this
this
year.
year. I think maybe top 10. Or
So it's a
did they
good.
trade it? We'll check that.
I don't know if it's rated, but if they can get a big guy for a center,
They don't need a
you
big
know,
guy. They got
or
Vucevic.
I know, but Vucevic is not a defensive guy.
You know,
He's more like a he's more suited at the four.
they're I think their starting five is solid. Um, Peyton
With
Oladipo, Harris, and then Channing Frye, and then
I think they have
Vucevic.
Aaron Gordon as their power forward, but
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't.
right now I think he's an off the bench guy. He's not.
Okay,
But what they need is a good coach. They need a coach that will implement a system where guys will know their definite roles. Somebody like a Greg Popovich, I think he can win it. He can win a championship with that team. If he's coaching Orlando, I think
he's not gonna leave San Antonio ever.
yeah. But just
Someone
what
like
I'm
him,
saying, someone like him, as bad as is the Magic right now.
maybe in
They
five
just need a
years
good coach. They just need a leader, to
maybe in
maximize
five
all their
years
talents.
they will get Becky Hammond as the first woman to coach in an NBA
Gabe.
team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So
speaking of coaches, that's a good another topic that we were gonna discuss.
coach of the year.
Coach of the year. So actually, I only see two candidates right now. Uh,
Okay, I have three.
okay. So
I know the
the
two.
top
I
two
know
are
the top
obvious. So
two.
who's your number three? Who's
Yes.
your number three?
Okay. My number three, I think I have to give credit to a lot actually, to a lot. But I'm gonna give credit to Kevin McHale
Okay.
of the Houston Rockets.
Okay.
He has done a fantastic job of guiding the Rockets to the number three spot
Mm-hmm.
or the number four spot without arguably their best player before the season started.
Mm-hmm.
But now we know that James Harden is the best player in the team. But he guided them to a number three spot without the injuries. With the injuries with Patrick Beverly and Dwight Howard. So I think he deserves credit.
Okay. Kevin McHale, number three,
Yes,
and then
yes.
number one and two, both disciples of Greg Popovich. Currently, both teams are the top
The
two
top.
teams in the NBA. Let's talk about Mike Budenholzer first. He has turned the Hawks into the Spurs of the East.
Yes.
He has
I think he's gonna win. No
yeah,
arguments.
I agree with you there that he's gonna win because
Yes.
there's no star in Atlanta.
Yeah, and he didn't. He has unlike Steve Kerr. I'm gonna mention Steve Kerr. Like Steve Kerr, Steve Kerr inherited a really great team, and he
Yeah,
just used the right place and the right
time.
combinations of
Okay.
players, the right place to make the team win. And while Budenholzer, he just, it's still the team that from last year. So no improvements.
Mm-hmm.
Just they just develop a chemistry. So that's why I think Budenholzer is the runaway winner.
Yeah, I think they were just derailed also last year because Al Horford tore his pecs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But
I
they
forgot
were
about that.
already a playoff team last year. But this year they had the full lineup. They were at full strength. They improved. They
Their
added.
bench is beast.
They're at they Jeff Teague improved. Kyle Korver improved. Well, he didn't
Yeah,
actually improve, but he's just now in a position to succeed because of the scheme they're running,
the system.
the
Yes, the
system they're
system.
running. I think he's just in a position to succeed because of that. Four Hawks were all stars this year.
Yes, they had four All Stars. All
The
Stars.
most since the Detroit Pistons back in.
No, I think the Boston Celtics.
No, Detroit also had four All Stars at the same time. Billups, Rashid, Ben, and Rip. They were also.
I think the 2011 Celtics had four All Stars too,
Oh,
with the KG, Pierce, Allen, and Rondo.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not sure.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
sure, but I think they also had that in
Yeah, I think
2010 or
yeah, I think you
2011.
might be right on that. They might be the latest. Okay, so that
So
wraps up our NBA discussion, and now we're headed to Johnny's rundown of the UEFA
okay,
Champions League. So what
the UEFA
happened over
Champions League.
there across the pond?
Okay, the UEFA Champions League resumed play last week with the matches, the second leg of the matches. So the first match I'm gonna discuss is Porto versus Basel.
Mhm.
So it was basically a run out of Porto. They won 4-0, 4-0. Sorry, they won 4-0,
Okay.
and they are now moving on to the next round. So I'm not gonna discuss all the because they're just a better team. I predicted they will win, and they did.
Okay.
So the next match is Real Madrid, the favorites for this year. They're the defending champions. They were defeated by Schalke 4-3,
They were defeated.
but they still, yes, they were defeated 4-3 at their own home. But their 2-0 win at Germany was enough to lift to get them through the next round with a 5-4 aggregate win. So they almost were knocked out. Schalke almost had another goal before the end of the game, but their goalkeeper Iker Casillas made the save. So Real Madrid is in a bad form right now. I think they lost the top spot in La Liga, so they need to get themselves back
Who's the
into
top right
form
now in
so
the
that
Liga?
Barcelona. Messi is playing like Messi again. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Messi later to discuss during their match. So Real Madrid, they moved on, but they lost.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
let's see if who will be their opponent for the next round. So it's not yet in place. So I'm gonna go to the next match.
Okay. Next
FC
match.
Bayern, the
Mm-hmm.
the 2013 champions. They run out the Shakhtar Donetsk team from Ukraine.
Okay.
They defeated them 7-0.
Whoa.
7-0. So
Whoa.
yes, they
That was
defeated.
a beatdown.
It just yeah, it was a beat down. So I'm not gonna go through that. Bayern is a monster team, and Shakhtar was just lucky to be
Just happy
in
to be
the
there,
last 16. Yeah, they were just happy to be there. So I'm gonna go to
Not
the
so.
shocker.
I don't think not so happy. Okay.
On the shocker, I picked Chelsea to advance because they were also one of the favorites. They were the 2012 champions, but they lost. Actually, they didn't lost. They got knocked out with on away goals. So
Okay.
the
So
Paris Saint Germain was down to 10 men. So Zlatan Ibrahimovic, one of my favorite players, got sent out with a red card at the first half, but Chelsea didn't score until the 81st minute. But David Luiz, a player from Paris Saint Germain and a former Chelsea player, scored with a bullet header in the 86th minute, sending the game into extra time because the score there was uh, all two and they both have away goals. So at extra time, Chelsea scored again. So they just need to get their defense straight. But Paris Saint Germain scored at the 114 minutes, 6 minutes before the final whistle,
okay.
and they were able to hold on and they won with away goals. They scored two away goals against Chelsea. So that's a shocker right there. So I
As
didn't
close
expect that.
as close as it could get, huh?
It was one of the best matches in
League history.
this year. No, not in league history, but this
Okay,
year.
okay.
So it was a shocker. So I didn't get the predictions right in there. So I'm gonna give you the predictions for this week's matches. We
Okay.
have four matches left four teams advancing to create the top eight. So first we have AS Monaco from France
Okay.
against Arsenal. Monaco has an aggregate lead of three goals to one, and they also have an away goals advantage at 3-1. So I'm gonna pick Monaco to win this game. They have a huge lead in aggregate, but Arsenal can actually come back from this. But
They have to
Arsenal
win
is
at
not.
least 5-0 or something, right?
Yeah, 5-0, 4-0. I think
No,
uh,
if it's
uh,
4-0, they will.
they need
Oh yeah, they
they,
would
they
win.
need 4-0. They need 4-0. 4-0 win to advance. So they can do it,
What's the
but
score
I'm
again?
not
3-1
gonna
right now. 3-1.
3-1, right?
Oh, so
3-1.
no,
So
it's
I'm not gonna.
actually 3-0 if they get 3-0 right. So it's 4-3. They can win.
Oh yeah, 3-0, 3-0. So I think Monaco's still gonna win this match.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm not gonna put much
They just
why
have to
Arsenal's not
play. They
gonna
just have
win.
to play
They just have
defense.
to play. They just need to play good defense, right? So for the next matchup, we have Atletico Madrid, finalist last year against Bayer Leverkusen. So Leverkusen is ahead 1-0 on aggregate, but they scored that on their home stadium. So, but I'm gonna give it to Atletico Madrid simply because they are the better team. They have the better
And
players
now
and
it's
they
on
have the
their home
better
field, right?
coach.
Home field. Home
Yeah,
field.
it's in their home field
Okay.
in the Vicente Calderon Stadium. So I'm gonna give this to Atletico Madrid. They have much better players, so I'm gonna give it to Atletico. And for the next last two,
Okay.
for the second to the last year, we have Barcelona leading 2-1 against Manchester City. So it will be played in Barcelona's home stadium of Camp Nou. So and they have the lead. So I think Barcelona's gonna be leading this. So it's a difficult task to win at Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
So it's too much for Manchester City, even though they're the English champions. It's difficult to win in Barcelona for an in an away game. So I'm having Barcelona in there. And
Okay.
lastly,
Lastly,
my
of
Borussia
course,
Dortmund.
not the least.
Last not but not the least, my Borussia Dortmund will be against Italian champions Juventus, and this will be played in Dortmund's home turf of Signal Iduna, wherein 80,000 people will be cheering for them.
Okay.
So I have Dortmund, of course, winning here. So they just need a 1-0 win, and
Why is it?
no
What's
explanation.
the
No
aggregate
explanations
score right
needed.
now?
The aggregate score is 2-1 for Juventus. So they just need Borussia Dortmund just need to win
Yeah,
1-0
because
in order for them to.
they have an away goal.
Yeah, they have an away goal. So an update for the Dortmund fans who's
Following the
listening,
blog also.
following my blog. I haven't written anything lately because the past two games were draws. They've gone back to their slight dip in form after winning five straight. So, but I think they were just exhausted. I think, and they will have confidence going in because they will be playing in their home turf. So I have Dortmund winning. So I have the top eight with Porto, Real Madrid, FC Bayern, Paris Saint Germain, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Borussia Dortmund, and I'm forgetting someone, Monaco. So I have those four as your top eight. So maybe in next week's episode, I'll discuss who after the draw. I'll discuss who will go on for the in the semifinals. Who will be the final four. So
Okay.
that's about it for my
Rundown.
Champions League
Very
recap.
quick
Yes,
rundown.
rundown.
Okay, so as we end, we encourage you guys to interact with us. Actually, we just opened a Twitter account, and it's at the Outsiders PHI, means Philippines, of course. And then you can ask us questions there regarding NBA, UEFA, or any sport. In general, we will try our best to
Even
answer it.
wrestling.
Even wrestling,
Even wrestling.
even
Yes.
back.
WrestleMania is around the season.
It's around the corner.
Around the corner, around the season. Sorry.
We can you can even actually ask us about sailing or dragon boat racing. We will try. We will try our
We'll
best
try.
to answer your questions.
Even baseball.
Okay, so today, because we haven't received any feedbacks from you guys yet. I asked my friends actually to ask questions, and they obliged to ask us questions. So we will
Okay.
be answering it. This one is from uh, from John Decoro. He said he
Okay.
asked, "Will OKC make the playoffs even without Serge Ibaka?" So yeah, I told you that we were going to talk
Yes.
about Serge Ibaka. I think
Yes.
the absence of Serge Ibaka is going to play a big role down the stretch for the Thunder. I think
Yes.
he plays a very integral role in that team. But KD is coming back also. So,
Yes. And Enes Kanter is playing really well right now.
for me, so. He's been on and
Well,
off. He's not been
I'm
consistent.
happy because he's my player in fantasy, so
Yes,
I avoided
he has
my being the last.
he has good numbers, but
Yes.
defensively,
He's not as good as Serge.
yes, and that's what they need. They have enough offense, as you can probably tell.
Yes, with Westbrook scoring half of the points.
Yeah, and doing everything.
Yes.
I think they're gonna miss Serge. Is a but let's see if they have Perry Jones, they have Mitch McGarry, the Hassan,
Steven Adams.
the White Hassan, Hassan White guy, and then,
Yeah,
and then
Tom Selleck. They have Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck, right? The name of the guy with the mustache.
Nick Collison. So they Steven Adams, yeah. So
Yeah,
they can
they're gonna make it.
they're gonna make it, I think. But they're the Pelicans are on their
Are
tails,
knocking on the door.
so they better watch out for that. Okay,
Okay.
so another question here. So this will be the last one for tonight.
Mhm.
This is from my friend again, Paolo Gedalanga. He asked, Adidas will not be renewing its contract with the NBA.
Ooh. Oh yeah, I've
What
read
will
that.
it mean for the league? Okay, so thank you, Paolo, for the
Eh,
question. Okay, so your thoughts first, Johnny.
Okay. I actually don't know how much Nike, or how much Adidas is paying the
They were
NBA.
paying $400 million plus
Ooh,
or minus for a 10-year,
plus or minus
contract.
$400.
Yeah, so
But
okay.
I think there's still Nike and Under Armour, and Under Armour is gaining ground on the sports apparel
Actually, they're
industry.
number two right now.
They're number two right
Yeah,
now.
Adidas
I
is
didn't know
number
that.
three.
Okay, it is number three. So I think the NBA is still in good hands in terms of their money from sponsors, shirt sponsors or jersey sponsors. So I think Under Armour would
Yeah,
be
and
the one replacing
I
Adidas.
think Adidas has lost its touch on the designing aspect of the game, of the jersey game. I think their designs have been, pedestrian. As compared to what I see from
Nike,
Under Armour and Nike,
Under Armour.
they look
Yeah,
badass over there. But maybe Adidas would be focusing on,
I think they're more focused on football right now. I
yeah, and
think
I think they will focus, I
Adidas.
guess, on the basketball side. They will focus on getting more players to wear their shoes because currently,
Nike's better.
oh, okay.
Nike's better.
Because current right now, it's I think the only notable ones are Derrick Rose and Damian Lillard.
I
Um,
think
John Wall, I don't
there.
think is with Adidas.
I think Derrick Rose's injury
Was
was the
caused?
cause
Oh
of
man, oh man.
because of the decline, right? As well as Dwight.
Okay,
I think
the
Dwight
views and
Howard is a.
opinions of Johnny Rundown is solely of Johnny Rundown, and it's not reflective of the opinions of me. Okay, so okay,
No, I think they shall I don't know how much. I think around 300 million for Derrick Rose. I think it's a lifetime contract.
Well, it's
So
unfortunate what happened to Derrick Rose,
yes,
but we can't blame it on the shoe. I think without definitive proof,
yes,
without science, telling us that it's the shoe's fault. But we just we can pray for Derrick Rose to recover, and hopefully Adidas also recovers. It's a big blow for them, because I think the NBA initiated this. They said that they were gonna explore other options. So, I think Adidas took it as a sign that the NBA was not confident. I think in their
the NBA was looking for more money.
yeah, looking for more money, and I think looking for better
Yes.
designs maybe. Because
Yeah.
I base their design language on what I see on the in the All Star game and on the Christmas games, right?
Actually, the Christmas jerseys suck.
Yeah.
I don't like
That
Christmas jerseys.
those jerseys are the ones that Adidas control, and also the sleeve jerseys. I mean,
Oh my
they are
god.
not. I know. I think Under
No.
Armour would do a better job on those jerseys because they would be at least really form fitting, and that the movement will not be restricted with the loose sleeves. You know.
LeBron James wouldn't be, saying that his shooting is affected by those sleeves.
Yes. Because I think when the sleeves are fit to your body, I think it's snug. I think it will be not noticeable.
It was, yeah.
Okay, so that's
Uh,
it. That's it for tonight.
uh,
Anything you want to say,
okay.
Johnny, before we go? Anything you want to announce or plug?
I hope that Dortmund wins. That's just what's in my mind right now. I hope they advance to the final eight. So that's all I'm thinking. So please pray.
We will be praying for Borussia. Okay,
Yes.
so your Twitter, Facebook. We will be creating a
So
Facebook page soon. So we are on Twitter at the Outsiders PHI. That's capital PHI. So your
you
Twitter,
can you can follow me on Twitter at Johnny Rundown,
please,
and you can please.
please do something on your
Uh,
Twitter, man. Say something.
okay. I haven't said anything on
Make them
my.
know you're
I
alive.
haven't tweeted anything, so maybe I don't know. Maybe next week or this week. If Dortmund wins, I'm gonna post my first tweet if Dortmund wins.
Okay.
That's a promise. And you can follow my blog at johnnyrundown.wordpress.com.
Okay, so you can follow me on Twitter as well at DaxOlfindo. Okay, so that's it. That's it for tonight. We will be seeing you, or you'll be hearing from us next week again. Until then, from the outside looking into the world of sports, we are the outsiders. Good night.
Cheers.